Those are visuals coming in from Ambala. President of India, Droupadi Murmu, the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces, has reached the Ambala Air Base, which is home to the legendary and lethal Golden Arrow Squadron. In moments from now, the President will script history by undertaking a sortie in Indian Air Force's mightiest bird, the rafale. In fact, a short while ago, the President inspected the Guard of Honor at the Ambala Air Base. There's a lot of symbolism in Rashtrapati's rafale flight. 175 days after Operation Sindoor, President of India will fly a sortie on the rafale, the same fighter jet that led India's punishing assaults during Operation Sindoor. And this definitely is a moment of national pride. Let's go across to Srinjoy Chaudhary joining us in the broadcast with more details. And sometime from now, President of India, Droupadi Murmu, would be taking that sortie in rafale. Like I said, a lot of symbolism attached as well.
Yes, the important part is that the rafale played a role, as you rightly said, in Operation Sindoor. And a lot of operations were done using the rafale. India has 2 squadrons of the rafale, which India has got from the French. And it's a very good aircraft, a very successful aircraft. And it's played an important role. It's also possible that India may buy more rafales in the future. So that's also something that has to be kept in mind. But at this point, India has 2 squadrons of the rafale. They were used quite a lot during Operation Sindoor. In any case, it's a fine aircraft, and the presence of the President of India, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, is a way of telling the Air Force, we stand by you.
Absolutely, and those are the images that we're getting from the Ambala Air Base. In some time from now, we'll see the President take that sortie in Rafale, the mightiest aircraft that, of course, has strengthened and has boosted India's air power. And it's been 175 days after Operation Sindoor. Like you were saying, the significance of Rafale leading that entire operation, Srinjoy.
Yes, of course. The rafale played a very important part. And we know the damage that was caused. First, the terrorist infrastructure was hit. And after that, when Pakistan continued to attack, tried to attack Indian positions, India hit several military positions in Pakistan. And the damage caused to those places was very severe. So it wasn't just the Rafale, it was the Sukhoi, it were other aircraft of the Indian Air Force, and also the BrahMos missile, which was used. So the Air Force and the Army and the Navy were very successful as far as Operation Sindoor was concerned. And this flying, flying by the President of India is a way of telling the armed forces, yes, you've done a good job.
Absolutely. It was in 2023, isn't it, that Rafale was inducted into the Indian Air Force at the Ambala Air Base. And as far as the President is concerned, this is a second sortie that she is going to take. It was Sukhoi 30 MKI fighter aircraft in 2023, isn't it?
Yes, she's flown the Sukhoi MKI, 30 MKI. That's a Russian-designed fighter that is made in India. Now, this one, the Rafale, of course, is French, but that's not the point. They are all with the Indian Air Force. And it must be said that it's a big moment. It's a big moment for the Air Force when the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, says, yes, I'm going to fly in your aircraft. And it's just after Sindoor. And at this point, the President herself says, yes, I will fly in your Rafale. And it's a big moment, a happy moment for the Air Force and quite naturally the President herself.
Absolutely. It's not just the sortie, but a lot of other aspects related to it are going to be discussed today as well. India is a growing market. It's a big market. The fact that the President of India is taking a sortie in Rafale, apart from symbolism, also signifies the might, the boost that this aircraft has given to India's air power.
Yes, of course. The important point is that in future, India may also look to the Rafale. Now, India wants 114 fighter aircraft. That's what the Air Force is looking at. Now, it's entirely possible that the Rafale, another 114 Rafale fighters will be bought. But this time, the level of indigenization of that fighter will have to be quite a lot. Also, the possibility of a make in India. Sure, it's the Rafale, but like the Sukhoi, which is made in India, in fact, in Nasik and other places, this fighter plane can also be made in India. And the percentage of indigenous components of the plane could be about 50%. That really is the plan. Now, naturally, India will have to decide on the Rafale, and then the SAW, which manufactures the Rafale, will have to set up shop here. Besides, of course, at this point, the Indian Air Force has sent an SOC to the Defense Ministry, and that is being looked at. The point the Defense Ministry has made is that, yes, it is there, but it's a little incomplete, because the levels of indigenization ought to be not the usual 10-15%, but considerably more, maybe 50%, maybe even more than that. So that is the point that the Defense Ministry has made vis-a-vis the Rafale. But this flight by the President is a way of telling the armed forces that, look, you played a big role in Operation Sindoor. You were successful, and you have always been successful. Thank you very much.
Right. Srinivas, could you also, throw more light on the significance of the Ambala Air Base, the Golden Arrow Squadron, and the visuals that we are looking at? This came a short while back when the President was inspecting the Guard of Honor.
Yes. Now, normally before a flight like this, there is a Guard of Honor. Now, Guard of Honor is another way of telling the service concerned, in this case the Air Force, that yes, this is a form of respect to the President, and also a measure of confidence in the service. That's what really the Guard of Honor is about: respect, and also a way of saying we are confident of you. But Ambala is one of the frontline air bases of the Indian Air Force. It's a place where a lot of Air Force aircraft have been stationed, much of it fighter aircraft. It's from Ambala that previous operations have been launched, whether in 65 or 71 or other operations, even 99 in Kargil.
Right.
So Ambala has a history. Ambala is part of the traditions of the Indian Air Force.
Srinivas, please stay on with us. We're also joined by Wing Commander S. Sudhakaran. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Good morning to you. And your first reaction on this moment that we are all witnessing, the President of India about to take a sortie in Rafale.
No, so interview online is what?
Go ahead, sir, if you can hear me.
Hello?
Yes, if you can hear me, sir, go ahead. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I didn't get your question.
Well, I just wanted your reaction on the moment that we're all witnessing. The President of India is about to take a sortie in Rafale.
Well, this has been in vogue since APJ Abdul Kalam was in office. So, in fact, PM Modi had taken a sortie during, I think, Aero India or something like that. I don't remember it offhand. So, this is something that has been in vogue for past 20 years or so that I have seen. And again, the First Lady President taking Rafale on board will be a historical moment. And for all the naysayers who looked down upon her, she being the commander of the armed forces, I think it's a proud moment for us that we have placed a lady from a marginalized community to the top office of the country, and today she sits in a fighter aircraft which went and proved its mettle during the recent Operation Sindoor. So it's indeed a great moment, and what more than Ambala to host, because Ambala is prestigious in a lot of ways. It is one of our frontline wings, which takes on the responsibility to defend the national airspace. So a lot of things to take away, positives to take away, and it will be a historical moment coming wherein the first women, the president to, take a sortie in Rafale. It will go down in history.
Thank you very much for speaking with us, sir. We have Group Captain UK Devnath joining us on the broadcast as well. Just like Wing Commander was pointing out, the significance of Rafale and the role it played during Operation Sindoor is not lost upon anyone. And we are all going to witness a historic moment when the President of India takes a sortie in Rafale. What does it mean for the Air Force when the Supreme Commander does this? Also, what does it mean? What is it like for the Air Force personnel?
Definitely a great moment of joy and proud feeling for all the air warriors. President is our Supreme Commander, and in case she is flying in a Rafale today, it demonstrates that she believes in leading from front. Ambala Air Force Station has got a historical significance. It was here that we first introduced the best of the fighter aircraft of our Air Force. I just want to remind the viewers that when Jaguar DPSA, Deep Penetration Strike Aircraft, came during 1980s, it was initially launched from Ambala only. And now, in case President is flying Rafale from Ambala, it has got certain tactical and strategic messaging not only for our enemies, but also potential customers of Indian weapon systems. Ambala is a trial base for carrying out various experiments and modifications on Rafale also. French authorities do cooperate with us. We have requested them to give the source code of Rafale, which sooner or later they will do. President, when she is flying Rafale today, nation is watching that how the best fighter aircraft of Indian Air Force rules the skies over northern India. Significance of Ambala also lies in its strategic location. From Ambala, not only we can carry out missions against our western adversary, but also towards the north, Tibet also. In fact, Jaguars based at Ambala and Rafale now are a potent combination in case there is a skirmish with our northern neighbor over Aksai Chin or anywhere on LAC. Both the aircraft are a good combination. Jaguar operating from Ambala are one of the best ground attack aircraft, and Rafale gives them a superior air cover protection. Yes.
Right. So you're saying it has a tactical and a strategic message. It's not just any other sortie. This is a messaging for our enemies. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us. Let me also go across to Diptendu Chaudhary, Air Marshal, joining us on the broadcast. Good morning to you. Your first comments.
Good morning. Thank you for having me over on your channel.
Your first comments, sir. The President of India is going to take a sortie in Rafale. The significance of Ambala Air Base, the significance and the role that Rafale played during the recent Operation Sindoor.
The President flying in, they are the Supreme Commanders have been the Supreme Commanders of India traditionally, of the military, and them flying in aircraft, sailing in ships, or going in tanks are a huge message. One is an important internal message, which is immense for the morale of all the personnel serving in that specific service, that the President has come down take an active part in their day-to-day life. So that's a huge message in itself. But what is more important probably at this possible time, that post-Operation Sindoor, the kind of role the Indian Air Force has played, it has been a sort of a revival of the importance of the offensive air power and air defense capability of the Indian Air Force, and the role it plays in the defense of the nation, the active and important role it plays in the defense of the nation, has sort of come back to the center stage. Do remember the last war which we fought was 71, more than 50 years ago, and then Kargil itself was more than 25 years ago. So in the recent memory, Operation Sindoor has brought back the salience of air power, and I think the President of India flying in the Rafale sends a very potent signal on the importance of air power in India's national security. It's a message which goes across to our neighbors, and it's a message of India's new approach that we are willing to sort of stand up and fight for our country whenever it's needed, and we will not sit back and wait and let the adversaries, sort of play games in our neighborhood and make things difficult with, state-sponsored terror and things like that. But apart from that, there's a huge strategic message which goes across that today India's aviation industry is posed in a situation where it's in an inflection point, and it can only go upward with the reduction of our numbers. So it's a message also to the industry and possibly the future development of the platforms, the 114 MRFA aircraft, which India is going to go in for. Right. It's our own indigenous program. So it's a huge boost and a morale booster and a message to the Indian aviation industry that it is time to pull out the stops and get into the game and make India an aerospace power of consequence.
Right. So the key takeaway from this conversation is you're saying the internal message is to, of course, boost the morale of the defense personnel, with the Supreme Commander of the forces taking this sortie today, and the external message is for our neighbors that India is not going to just sit back and allow misadventures to take place. Thank you very much for speaking with us, sir. I'm moving on and going across to Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, defense expert, joining us on the broadcast. Your first thoughts?
Thank you very much, Madam. This is a very good news and very heartening news for the entire armed forces. As you already know, the President of India is the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. The President of India presents the colors to every fighting unit, whether it is ground, air or sea unit. It means the President actually is the leader of every fighting unit of India. Now, this means a lot. It is not only symbolic, it means a lot right from history. If you come downwards, every head of the state, whether it was a monarch or not, was head of the army also. That was there, and that this message has been carried out. Of course, we don't display it as such now, but it's always means the same. It means now that our president is not only interested in ceremonial aspects, but president also looks into the operational aspects and is fully aware, and would like to advise from time to time in case the president needs anything about the armed forces. But now when we come to this scenario, the scene which we are watching, it is again a very, very heartening scene where President Murmu now is going to undertake a sortie. Of course, after getting into a proper attire and will fly the Rafale fighter jet. Now, Rafale fighter jet is going to be the backbone of India, as we already know. Yes. We did take a little time to get the aircraft proper, but now that we are on the job, you'll soon see the Rafale, this weapon system is going to be the leading weapon system. It has got an assortment of weapons, long range, short range, cruise missiles, long range missiles, everything. So the President will not only get aware of all that aspect, but President also will now put her mind onto the forthcoming aspects of the fighting forces. As you know, we are making a lot of indigenization programs are coming up. Yes. Rafale is going to be part of that.
Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us. Srindra Chaudhary is also with us on the broadcast. Srinjoy has spoken about the symbolism, the significance. Also tell us about the process now, how you know, the preps take place before you take a sortie. The President, I am sure, would be briefed.
Yes, long before a sortie, there's usually a medical test. And after a medical test, and she's cleared it, let's not forget that the President of India is a senior citizen. So these tests are important, after which, of course, she is kitted out, which means that she wears the overalls of the fighter. Now, normally in the case of these overalls, sometimes they are weighed because then it is easier when the plane is there, and there are medical reasons why the overall has weights attached to it and so on. After which, of course, she climbs onto the aircraft, sits behind. It's a two-seater, and the flight takes off, and everything else follows after that. But it's an important moment. It's also something important for her. She is a senior citizen. She is a President of India. This is something she has chosen to do. And enormous credit to her for agreeing to do it. That's, of course, first. And she realizes, the President herself realizes how important it is. It's the symbolism involved. A President of India, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, saying, flying a rafale and telling the Indian Air Force, that the Indian Armed Forces, that yes, I stand with you. It's a very important statement. And
Ask you, you know, in so many years of your career of covering defense, how many opportunities did you get to experience this, and if at all, how was it? How does it feel like to be inside such a powerful aircraft?
I have flown in a fighter aircraft twice. Both were 45-minute flights, and one you have to go through a medical test first. After a medical test, you are trained up to a point to fly that plane. And it's an exhilarating experience, actually. First, the training is very thorough, and when you start the training process, you feel there's no way you can learn anything. But gradually you pick up the process, and then you are kitted out, and you are told to have a kind of special kind of diet in the morning, not eat very much, because there are other issues. Then when you get onto a plane, you are also given puke bags, because in case you're flying the first time, if there is a problem, a medical problem, so the puke bags are also in your overalls, after which you fly out. But you've been trained. So when you're in the air, on both occasions, the pilot asked me, do you want to take over? And to tell you that you can fly a fighter plane is such a fantastic thing. So there you are in the cockpit, wearing your helmet,
Right.
Getting oxygen through the mask, and you are flying a fighter plane.
Right.
So I flew both fighter planes for about 5 or 6 minutes, after which it was time to land, and the fighter pilot said, I'm taking it over again, and we landed. Both were 45-minute flights. It was exhilarating, but it was also exhausting.
All right. So enjoy. On that note, let's take a very quick break, and we'll come back on this big story, get you those live visuals as well whenever the sortie takes place.